Hey, anthropology class, Aiden here. Humans are, without a doubt, top of the food chain. Or are they? As a human being, I don't have talons, I'm not poisonous, and I don't even have particularly sharp teeth. And as a redhead, I can't even go outside on a sunny day without the assistance of sunscreen. You'd think that if we are top of the food chain, we would have never even had to shoot Harambe, because we could have just gone out there and stopped him. And if we were top of the food chain, you'd think that Carol Baskin would have never fed her husband to the tigers. But the sad truth of the matter is, we did shoot Harambe. And we shot Harambe with the one thing that has always put us at the top of the food chain. Tools. Tools are intrinsic of being human. Our ancestors only survived by makeshifting tools and weapons out of rocks and sticks. But how did we go from breaking rocks to make them sharper to Apple Watches, or guns, or the very house that I'm standing in? The Stone Age is considered to have lasted 3.4 million years, up until 3000 BCE with the beginning of the Bronze Age. The Stone Age itself was so long that it is broken up into three periods. The Early Stone Age, also known as the Lower Paleolithic era, saw the use of percussion flaking. This process was first done by Homo habilis and consisted of using a larger hammerstone to break off sharp flakes of a stone core. These sharp pieces were then used for cutting meat and bones. This is often regarded as the first use of a major tool. The Middle Stone Age, or Mesolithic era, allowed for better craftsmanship with flaking. Early humans were now able to flake rocks down to a sharp point. This led to the development of stone projectiles like spears. These flakes were sharp enough to penetrate animal hide, greatly assisting early hunters. The development from flaking in the Early Stone Age gave humans much easier access to animal bone, which led to further development of bone tools. Bones were often whittled down to sharp points called bone awls. These were used to puncture holes in leather or fabric, which greatly advanced the development of clothing. The New Stone Age, or Neolithic period, allowed for even more development. Sharp stones were now more easily fashioned to sticks, allowing for better spears and arrows. It also allowed for hammers, knives, chisels, and even more intricate designs like bone needles and harpoon points. Many of the tools in this era were made with a specific task in mind, showing early human adaptivity. Barbed harpoon points made piercing and catching fish much easier than before. These tools ultimately gave way to much more effective hunting, better constructed shelters, and early farming techniques. But most importantly, these tools are what definitively puts humans as the reigning champs of the animal kingdom. The important thing to take away here is technological growth is exponential. The more tools you have, the more avenues available for even more technologies. To put that into perspective, the first stone flake tools were made 2.6 million years ago. The first spears were made 400,000 years ago, meaning it basically took early humans 2 million years to add a long stick to a pointy rock. From the spear, it was then only a couple 100,000 years until the bow and arrow came out. And from the bow and arrow to the earliest example of a gun, it was only about 60,000 years. And from the gun to this Apple Watch was only 700 years. To be human is to use tools, and the more tools we have, the more technologies we can invent. Knowing this, and knowing each one of us has a supercomputer in our pocket, there's no telling how quickly the next big tool will come.